Add source, that microphone, add. Hello and welcome to everybody. There we go, I think it's working. We did seem to have some issues. Let me just check. Oh. Welcome everybody. Sorry about that. There we go, I think it's working. Yeah, it's working. We did seem to have some technical errors. We are in the game at the moment.
Well, no,
should be able to maybe just yeah, welcome everybody. Sorry about that, we did have some technical errors. We are getting into the first game of Era Last Time versus OG Vindicatus. This is a Prem game set for Hopper 7, but it is a little delayed, so thank you for your patience. We are joined once again by Chicken Boy. Yeah, sorry, I know we've missed everything, but we can go through a quick rundown. So bans so far, we do have the Nautilus, Kane, Kiana actually coming out, and the Zac. Kiana is kind of different for me. I didn't see that amongst the research that I did, but on the OG Vindicator side, on Era Last Time side, we do have Yumi, Shen, Syndra, Mordekaiser, and Maokai. I know I switched that around, but yeah, kind of standard, nothing really out of the blue. And then in terms of picks for Era Last Time, we do have the Aphelios and the Lulu, which we have seen a lot of the Lulu coming out. Galio and Ornn coming down, so that's quite a pretty tanky side. And then we do have Lissandra, Jhin, Nami. Quite a good bot side there with the Nami kind of keeping that ADC alive. Lissandra we have seen played before. The Volibear, I have actually seen a bit of the Volibear in the top lane while I was doing my research. So I wonder if that might go in the top lane, but we will have to see with regards to this last pick. I don't know with you. What do you think?
Yeah, so it's interesting
Top lane.
pick and ban phase,
While I was
to be
doing my
honest.
research, I wonder if that might
Yeah,
go in
okay, so
in
it's
the
probably
top lane,
Wukong
but we
top,
will have
Volley in the
to
jungle. You know,
see
they
with
can
regards to this
switch.
last pick. I
I
don't
don't want to
know
see
with
that. I
you.
don't like Wukong in
What
the
do you think?
jungle. I prefer him in the solo lane. But yeah, just quickly, I'm really surprised by the heavy priority on the Lissandra, first picking her with the Aphelios open, with the Ornn open, with the Lulu open. I hope this pays off for them because I think they gave up some really powerful picks for that. Also very surprised by how long it took for Trundle to get in and the fact that he wasn't prioritized. I really thought both of these junglers were untouchable. We've seen the Trundle priority in the last few days and how strong that jungler is, so also a bit surprised by that. And also, you know, the fact that the Wukong got picked second last, you know, didn't you know, he missed 10 bans. So yeah, a very interesting pick and ban phase. You know, maybe these guys have done some homework on each other. So if we look at the first couple of bans, okay, we actually don't have to rush. I know we are going to have some more time because we have to wait for the 3 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so if we run through some of the bans, the Nautilus ban not too surprising, and the Yumi ban not too surprising. But after that, it gets a bit interesting. Pain, I mean, it's obviously a target jungle ban. It might be that, you know, they feel the jungler on Era has a lot of experience with this champ, but it's not a champion that we've seen do particularly well in all the streams that we've done. In fact, I think we've only seen it in one game. It just didn't work, and he's not a pick that I'm too fond of. Has to be honest, especially considering the other junglers that are available. The Kiana ban as well seems very targeted. So again, I didn't see any evidence of anyone playing the Kiana,
Yeah.
but you know, maybe they know something that we don't know. In terms of the Shen and the Syndra also makes sense. I mean, she's a pretty standard ban in pro play at least, because of that, the fact that she's such a safe pick in the mid lane, and the fact that she can technically actually be flexed into the bottom lane as well. And then, you know, that Shen pick I think was a very intentional pick. I'm just looking for KnightBladeX. I think from what I saw, Shen seems to be his most champion, so I suppose that makes sense. In terms of the second round of bans that came through, I think it was very obvious that the Ornn was going to be picked up when we saw the Mordekaiser and the Maokai banned. So a little bit surprised that the Trundle, got banned rather than the Ornn. But to be fair, I'm surprised the Trundle got through that far to begin with. So yeah, and Wukong, I think they like to pick up the Wukong and the Volley so late in the draft. Those are champions that we see very high priority on, or that we've seen very high priority on in other games. So we'll see if that works in their favor, that they got it. But all in all, I think I favor red side.
Yeah, I'm just looking in terms of team fight. I mean, they do have quite a bit of engage on OG Vindicatus' side with Wukong and the Lissandra. Definitely great damage coming out. The Nami ulti does come out there. We will have to see, because I mean, we did see the Aphelios getting punished yesterday from the laning phase. So we'll have to see if the Aphelios is able to get online and kind of get those items that he needs, get to the point that he is able to carry. But they, like you were saying, they do have quite a very tanky front line. And
look, the Wukong definitely has potential to get onto the Aphelios and cause him to have a really bad day. Lissandra, maybe with like her E, or with that claw, maybe she gets past the front line onto the back line, also onto that Aphelios. But with the Lulu support there to keep her safe, those shields, we've seen a lot of games, I think enough games on Lulu, with the Lulu support. Lulu built that Ardent Sensor, probably also going to build the Mikhails after that as well. I think, the longer the game goes, the harder and harder it's actually going to get for them to be able to deal with that Aphelios. So yeah, I favor red team's draft, but purely from a draft perspective, I think they have the better team. But I mean, as it always is in League of Legends, it's going to come down to execution.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see if they can, pull this off.
Just looking at masteries and ruins over here. Doesn't seem to have anything out of the ordinary. There is a difference on the Volibear. Instead of press the attack that we have seen in the jungle, there is that grasp. That
so that's because he needs a bit of sustain, because Ornn likes those trades, those short trades, 200-300 HP trades.
Yeah.
In our tank course that we see in the top lane. So I think he needs that for the sustain. I think he could have maybe also gotten Conqueror. But I did say this, that it might be Volibear in the top lane, Wukong in the jungle. And to be honest, I'm not a fan. I don't think Wukong is as impactful when he gets put in the jungle as he is when he gets put on a solo lane, given the chance to really fight someone one-on-one, build an advantage, hopefully get a bit of a CS lead, get a gold lead, and roll it from there. I mean, it's technically possible in the jungle, but I think the junglers also often take a little bit longer to level up than the laners do as well, and we know that what makes Wukong so powerful is that ulti. So yeah, look, we'll see if they can make this work in their favor. But again, purely from a draft perspective, I give the upper hand to red side.
So we will have to see. We are just about into this game. We're on 90%, as you can see in the bottom there. And yeah, for everybody who's joining us, once again, thank you for joining us today. We are going into game 1 of OG Vindicatus versus Era Lost Time. And definitely looking forward to this game. From the games that we've seen, there's always been a lot of action. I wonder if it might not be as action-packed as games from, let's say, the first division, just because it might be a little bit more calculated, or it might be a little bit more action-packed because the teams are able to do those tower dives, maybe push the lane when they need it and gank other lanes or get the roams in. So we're going to have to see how the execution does come out. But always excited for a League of Legends game and always willing to support these teams and help build the community. I think that's the biggest thing that we want to do. And for some
Yeah,
reason,
that's
I'm stuck on 90%.
yeah, so am I. No, that's yeah. I have to say that you raise a good point there. I think we need to get excited about local esports. I mean, yes, it's not quite at the level that your LEC, LCS, LPL, and LCK are at, but I mean they had to start somewhere as well.
Yeah.
There's nothing to say that with enough time, enough money, with enough attention and enough input, and yeah, it's just enthusiasm around the sport and enough support that we can't end up with a fairly big league of our own. I mean, imagine how cool it would be if South African esports gets to send their best team as a wild card to Worlds. To
That
the
would
whole
be
Worlds one
really
day.
cool.
I mean, that'd be really sick.
That would
Um,
be awesome.
yeah, so I am in game, but the game is on 0000 and it's not making any progress. I'm not sure about you.
Yeah, same. I think it's just loading up. I think it's just getting everyone into the channel. Um, we
So
are
something,
just waiting, but yeah,
so something
nothing.
else that I
Oh,
noticed.
there's a
There we
pause.
go. Oh, there, pause.
Yeah,
I'm not
straight
sure.
away. I think I
Someone
think the
DC'd.
teams, oh yeah, maybe DC'd or
Yeah, someone
Low is being a
DC'd.
little bit slow tonight, but definitely something going on with the client today.
Yeah, there's the chat is saying the scout is saying that the support, so it looks like LunaLavender DC'd. So they're just waiting for that. Okay, so that gives us a little bit more time as well. So something that I actually only noticed right before we hit the black screen there was that Vanilla Chai, the jungler on the red side for
Hmm.
Era Lost Time, he's actually running the Dark Harvest.
Yeah, I did see that in the loading
And
screen.
again, so I mean, I've tried this jungle Echo Bold. I think you've tried this jungle Echo Bold as well, and it can actually prove to be quite difficult to get those Dark Harvest stacks.
Hmm.
Yeah. So again, not a huge fan of the Dark Harvest on the Echo. I'd rather see something like the Electrocute, but the fact that these guys are in the Premier League, they're probably better players than we are. So, I have faith that he's tried this multiple times. I'm sure this is not like a once-off thing that he's trying. I'm sure this is something that he's practiced. So hopefully it pays off. But definitely surprised by that one because, like I say, I'm not the biggest fan of that specific build.
Yeah, like you say, I mean, if he doesn't get the ganks at the right times, um, I mean, he won't be getting those harvest stacks. That I mean, the members have to be relatively low in order to.
Yeah, it's not just about getting ganks.
Yeah,
It's about getting ganks
when they're
when
low,
they're
or
low and
bringing them low, I
procking that
suppose.
or bringing them low enough to
Yeah.
proc that and get the Dark Harvest stack. So, but like I say, I mean I'm not saying it can't be done. It definitely can be done. There's a reason this is a fairly common build by the looks of things from what I've seen online. But yeah, personally, not a huge fan. But yeah, okay. So if you spoke about whether we're going to see early aggression or not, I think this is one of the first games in a while where we've seen a ranged support on both sides and a ranged, how do I call it, like protector kind of support, and not something like a brand or something like that. So I think there's going to be a lot more sustain in both these bot lanes. So I don't expect these bot lanes to be as one-sided as what we've seen in the past. Because usually what we've seen in the past is, one of the teams goes for something like a loose support, while the other one goes for something like a brand or a Nautilus, where they want to engage. And these guys, I think, are going to be fairly happy to just stand back, poke, protect their ADCs, make sure that, if the junglers come for a gank or whatever, that they can keep them alive. So I actually think we might see a little bit less or fewer kills in the bot lane. There should be some trading, but like I say, with the sustain and that, I don't know if we'll see as many kills in the bot lane as we have in some of our other games. I think we might see a bit more action in the top lane than what we used to. We used to tank wars.
Yeah.
This is basically tank wars, but I think Volley brings a little bit more damage than we used to on something like the Maokai or the Shen in this matchup against the Ornn.
Yeah.
So, and also, if the junglers come top, these junglers have a lot of damage. Um, So yeah, I think wherever the junglers go is going to be
It can
the
be
most likely for there to be kills.
Yeah, and unfortunately we still have this pause. I'm not too sure exactly how long this is going to go, because as far as I know it goes until, it's only 5 minutes that they have
Yeah.
for the pause to continue, so I'm not too sure if teams are going to be relatively forgiving on this. And as far as I know, if it's in the first 5 minutes of gameplay, then the game has to be restarted. So we, I don't know. I doubt they will restart it because I mean nothing's really happened.
Yeah, I think rather we need to remake.
Oh, and have a son that can join. I'm guessing a
probably a sub.
sub.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it looks like the
That's
game is
unfortunate.
going to be remade. I wonder
So the
if.
sub's probably going to come in for the Nami.
Yeah,
The LunaLavender.
probably, but yeah, I wonder if just in terms of champions, if we're going to see the same champions or what's
Well,
going to
yeah,
happen. Or is it work at 4? 4 o'clock in the morning? I don't know. Not too sure what's happening with these squads just yet, so it does look like we are just going to chill out, have a bit of a break, and we'll be getting to the game as soon as it goes. Yeah.
chat's taking a bit long to load. I mean, it looks like they're saying the Nami's internet fixed itself, and that she should be coming. There's a little bit of, well, it's not really trash talk, but yeah, I mean,
We've been waiting for
yeah, I
45
think
minutes.
let's not get into the chat because it's not really our place.
Yep.
Well, even if we did get into it, there's nothing we can say that is of any consequence. Nothing that we say really matters. It's going to come down to, it comes down to the rules, and yeah, so I think we're not going to get involved in that.
Yeah, all we can do is wait
and hope
and see.
that we have a game.
Yeah. Nothing much. So yeah, unfortunately we do have that pause coming out, and I mean we did discuss the champions and everything. So the only thing we can really do for now is wait and see what will come.
Well, if the Nami's internet fixed itself, I'm just surprised as to why she hasn't reconnected. Unless, okay, remember we
There
do
we
have
go.
the 3-minute lag.
There's the
So it's possible
reconnect.
that the game has actually started.
It is possible. I'm pretty sure there's the reconnect, so it does look like
Okay. Yes, I have a suspicion the game might have actually started, and we
just
we
behind.
just have our lag. Okay, so hopefully we get in within the next, 3 minutes max. So, it'll definitely be less than that. So let's say 2.5 or 2 minutes or so. Okay. So Ignite in the bot lane. So
Here we go. Here's the ready
we
signs. Why are you so toxic? Yo. Bam. Trash talk coming out already.
Okay, well, let's hope that no one is tilted by that.
Here we go. Okay, we are back.
There we go.
Let's just see how. Okay, we are live as well. I'm live time. 17 seconds into the game. Welcome to everybody who is joining once again for this game. We do have Error Lost Time versus OG Vindicatus, game 1. So you haven't missed any action yet. Doesn't look like we're going to get any action in the beginning.
Well, if you like reading chat, then you missed a lot of action. But we're not going to go over that.
Yeah,
the boat seems just setting up here.
Ooh, do we see
their
potential?
Wukong. I think he just wants to maybe ward.
Yeah, there's the ward.
Yeah. And the chat is still coming through.
Yeah, I'm gonna hide that so no one can see it.
Yeah, hopefully these guys will transfer from the chat into the actual gameplay. They're allowed to kill each other as much as they want, you know, virtually on this map. So, you know, I think winning a game is going to be more meaningful, guys, than trash talking the other guys anyway, whether you're right or not. So yeah, let's just prove it on the Summoner's Rift.
Oh, we do see normal starts coming out. Red buff and top side start actually on the that Ekko. Let me just get your lanes sorted so you guys can keep track of everything.
Yeah, so Lulu and Aphelios look like they're getting a little bit of a push here, so they should get the first level 2.
Oh, and a lag spike.
No.
Yo!
Thanks, Riot.
There we go. Seems like we're back.
Yes.
That was quite a difficult one.
Wait, I'm not live anymore. Are you live?
No, I didn't want to go live, but...
Oh, okay. Yeah, so just farming for now. Finally hit the level 2 first in the top lanes, getting a little bit of a push. Oh my goodness, I have another lag spike.
Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it. I'm not gonna...
Yeah, okay.
Doesn't seem to be working with us. League of Legends is just deciding not to work today.
Okay, well, we'll be optimistic and hope that was the last time. So, as I suspected, red side had the early push. They got level 2 first, but they didn't really do anything with it. A little bit of a fight in the bot lane. Still aggressive at night.
Good, Nami, you're ahead of me in telling us all the action before it happens. Oh, Aphelios is going in. The good heal. The snipe does come out, but the Lulu is going to not die. The body block from the Aphelios does come out. Aphelios trying to turn this around, but the healing from the Nami just coming great. Last shot from the Jhin, and will he get the first one? He does get the double kill. So great fight coming out from that bot lane. Oh, we do see a fight in the mid lane, possibly. Nope. Galio just decides to run away. Does turn around, and there's the Nami disconnecting once again.
Oh,
so
goodness.
I'm picturing that they won't be able to pause.
Yeah, because of how long that first pause was.
Yeah.
I think you might be right. Yeah, okay, so these guys proving me very wrong. The most action in the bot lane already. Level 2 all in from both sides. Quite a few summoners burnt in that exchange. You know, Jhin did burn both of these.
Fight in the bottom lane. Wukong does get the scuttle, and he might be able to get the Ekko. He does flash away. Aphelios does come in here with the stun. Flash from the Aphelios to get a great ward. He does turn around and doesn't get the answer kill onto that Ekko. We do have a fight in the top lane. Split skies does come from the Volibear. Ornn does flash forward, but he doesn't get the hit. And the volley flashes to get away from that fight. So, it looked like he got a creep block there. Scumbag creep.
So bad. Goodness. Okay, so yeah, quite a lot of action. It took really long to take that Wukong down. But okay, in the end they took him down. Let's just have a look at summoners again. Okay, so Aphelios burned both of his. Lulu's burned both of hers. Ekko's burned his flash. Ornn's burned his flash. So Galio has a flash. Mid lane, yeah. So pretty much all the flashes burnt except for in the mid lane, and Nami has her flash left. And then we have our team.
Lissandra.
So
you mean the mid lane on both sides? Yeah.
Yeah, on both sides, and then also the Nami in the bot lane. Sure. Okay, so very aggressive start from both these sides. And although it's 2-1 in kills, the gold is dead, pretty much dead even at this point in time, so no real advantage from a gold perspective, but the big difference for me is the fact that Jhin is sitting on a BF sword already, compared to all Aphelios could go back and buy with boots and a couple of potions. So Jhin definitely with the damage advantage in the beginning, but the fact that he's solo laning.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's going to help him with the levels, but definitely not going to help him with the engages at all. And once Nami joins that lane, it's going to be a little difficult. I wouldn't be surprised if they might set up for a tower dive at the bot lane, but...
Yeah, and the Nami reconnected there for a second and then disconnected again. So I'm thinking that maybe it would have been best if they had remade and brought the Supp in, but it's too late now. As far as I know, we are 6 minutes into the game. We've had first blood, so I don't think we can remake now. We're going to have to play the Supp. Hopefully the Nami reconnects. I mean, we want to see a fair game. But that being said, we also want to see League of Legends. We don't want to see a paused screen. So yeah, let's just take what we have at the moment, and hopefully there's some action. Wukong looks like he wants to protect his Jhin over here, which is probably the right thinking.
Oh, here's the reconnect from the Nami once again. Ekko has started on that Drake by himself. Does look like Nami is coming to the lane, so we will see if she does eventually make it there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean the Jhin isn't doing too badly. He's only about 20 CS behind, so not
15.
that 15. Yeah, okay, not too bad.
But there's 5 creeps here, so...
Oh, here comes the Wukong on the fight on the bot lane. He does go in onto the Lulu, but the Aphelios is doing damage with those chakrams, and he does get the kill. TP coming in from mid lane in that response, which is a little bit different, and I'm not too sure why they kind of try to go for that fight. I think rather just hang around and try to protect that bot lane. And we do see the Nami disconnect once again.
Oh my goodness, I don't think it's just her. Like, I'm just permanently DCing over here. Well, not DCing.
Oh,
but
dive
of course,
coming in on the Jhin. At least, yeah, mine's not too bad so far. Fight in the top lane, but the Ekko does decide to back off. We might see a fight in the top lane coming out. Ulti does come out, but the Volibear does use his ulti to get away, but that doesn't help him. He does get the shield, and we do get a Black Spike fight in the top lane, and the Ornn does win that engage. We will have to rewind to try to catch all that action.
Volley to try and get away, but yeah, just not enough.
Yeah, but I don't think. Look, you see, he still gets the knock-on effect. We just are catching the end of that fight. Yeah, easy kind of kill coming out from the top lane there.
And this is the problem with Ornn, is everyone thinks, well, he is on paper he's a tank, but for some reason, Riot has decided to give him about as much damage as a bruiser, if not the friggin' ADC. So very sort of surprised, not very sort of, very surprised by this volley in the top lane. And like I say, it was for me it was very obvious that the Ornn pick was gonna come through. They had the chance to ban it and they didn't. They opted into it. So yeah, let's see if this is gonna punish them. Looks like Nami is still DC.
Yeah, it looked like she did get disconnected once again. So this looks like it's gonna be a solo lane for this Jhin. He is ahead on levels. Oh, he might get the kill on this Lulu, but no, the Graviton does come down. Nami does reconnect in the backside of that. And we might see a fight in the top side once again. He does get the knock up onto the volley. And I think he's just going to back off because he does know how this goes. On the backside of that, Wukong does pick up the rift. And we do decide to get a lag spike once again.
Yeah, low Riot is really not playing ball
Tonight.
Unfortunately. Okay, yes, Nami is swimming back to the bottom lane. Oh, she turns around. Okay, so she's just doing left.
Doing some suicides on that bot lane. Tariq gonna wear a hole in the floor soon. But
well, I mean, she's floating and she has like a mermaid's tail, so.
Okay, well, you know what I mean, though. You know what I mean. So why you gotta be an asshole?
I was born that way, okay. Yeah, so Wukong still managed to take that neutral objective. So yeah, I mean it's working all right for now. They haven't played a kill in the bot lane really since the Nami left, so they're holding on. The problem is the turret plates. This Aphelios is now starting to build up a serious gold lead. Okay, 3, almost 400. It's probably not too bad at the moment. It just depends on the buy, what they've managed to get from the buy as another reconnect.
We have Axis Okami saying Riot being Riot. Yep. We couldn't agree with you anymore. Ooh, we do see a possible tower dive coming in the mid lane. Ekko wants to go for it, but there's nothing there. Lulu is in the back. to support him.
And Lissandra is a tricky one to tell. I mean,
Wukong's coming in the... Oh, it doesn't get the damage. Wukong is in the tri-bush. He does gonna spot out this Lulu, gets the ulti out. The shield is coming out, the great Jhin stun, the ulti does come out, and that crit with the 4th hit just eliminates the Lulu. Here comes the Ekko, doesn't get the stun, but the Wukong is by himself. Ekko keeps going in, he is not going to, he uses ulti and doesn't get away. Aphelios lands the ulti and, oh my word, double kill on the Aphelios onto that Nami. And the Jhin is kind of stuck.
Sitting on that fourth empowered shot.
But he is stuck here under the tower. It is going to reload. Great hit. Can he get the W? He misses it, unfortunately. Lissandra is going to pick up that. And ulti coming out from the Jhin to possibly get some snipe here. And he misses the last shot, unfortunately. But it is a 2 for...
kill anyway.
2 for 1 on that fight. That extended team fight.
Yeah, you know, honestly, a bit of a bad idea with that low health Ekko sticking around without his ulti. I mean, Jhin waited and waited so patiently on that empowered 4th auto attack. I mean, we could see it, the Ekko could definitely see it. I think it was a little bit greedy, probably giving away, well, not probably, I think giving away a very unnecessary kill to a lane that was actually quite far behind, and because of that, you know, Jhin is now actually not too far behind. Nami's back, she just needs to catch up on some levels, and I think it's still very much game on over here.
Yeah, we do see the Drake going down on the backside, and both ADCs have now completed an item. The Aphelios does have that dagger ahead of the Jhin, but I mean,
Jhin
definitely, yeah, the Razor Blade, Storm Razor, that's the one. Coming out, so but we will see how Nami does look like she has a stable internet. We do see a possible gank coming in the bot lane. They are trying to push the tower, but there is the knock up with a great Nami bubble coming in. Ulti from the Wukong does, but the Lulu ulti does get him, and the Jhin just shuts him down. Double kill coming on the Jhin, and there is a double TP in the bot lane here. Lissandra ulti does keep the Galio under tower, and he is going to go down. Ekko is here, but he misses the stun. Nami bubble. Great, and he goes down actually before he gets to ulti, and now the Ornn is going to go down, so great response coming out from OG here, and yeah, an ace so early on in the beginning, and Volibear wasn't even there, didn't have the TP to join that fight, and yeah, definitely don't think that tower dive was a great idea. So
this Jhin is doing a ton of damage. I mean, he is just bursting these guys down on the other side so easily. He's melting these guys like butter. I mean, he's 5-0 and 4 just like that.
Yeah.
And now has the gold advantage. So yeah, I think any advantage that red side got courtesy of that DC is all but
gone.
And our gold lead is. There's maybe
almost
100
even
gold difference in favor of the red side. So yeah, I said it earlier, and I'll say it again, it's definitely game on. But it looks like this Jhin is going to be a problem.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. Goraxis, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, saying that might be might turn it, and yeah, I definitely think so. I think this Jhin is just going to snowball unless they can shut him down with some CC and stuff, but I do expect that Nami probably go for that Ardent Sense and possibly a Mikhail's. Volibear does miss the cannon creep in the top lane, and we do just see some tank wars. Gank in the mid lane, great taunt coming out into the stun onto the Lissandra, and she is going to fall and waste the flash, unfortunately. I'm not too sure if that was a great idea from her, especially with that red buff burning. Definitely not worthwhile.
Yeah, and that's 5 stacks of targets now.
We do see a fight in the bot lane. Jhin is going onto the Lulu, but Aphelios does delete Nami in the backside of that. Galio ulti does come down, and that stops the Wukong chase onto that support. And yeah, just a little overstep from that Nami being so low. I mean, she is only...
She needs to be careful. She's quite far behind. So.
Yeah.
you know, she will catch up, but she needs to play safe until she does.
Yeah, level 7 to level 9, so it definitely needs to just take a chill pull on that lane.
Yeah. The other thing I wanted to say is, you know, yes, the Jhin seems like he's getting a bit out of hand, but this Ornn, I think, is a lot more relevant right now than this Volibear. And if they do end up having a 5, oh, looks like there's going to be action in the bot lane.
Do you see it? Yeah, coming in. Ekko does get the stun onto the Wukong. The ulti is coming out, but he does use that dash to get away. And great ulti, but the Nami steals the kill. We do have 4 members alive to this 3 coming out. The Aphelios, great flash taunt onto the Nami. Onto the team from the Galio, but Aphelios does eventually kill that Nami. Ulti coming out from the Jhin. He doesn't land any onto the Galio, so he can't get that shutdown, but he does get the first shot onto the Aphelios, and that looks like a 1-for-1 trade. He's still stepping forwards, and I think this might be too far. Flash coming out. The Wukong does come down, but the heal does come out. Galio is here. He's going to get the taunt. Lissandra does come in, but it's a little too late. The Galio does pick up that kill. And Aphelios is just so low.
But look there, he's just like, each auto is like 50 odd health that he's just getting back. But yeah, no, wow, okay, so turning back a little bit in favor of the red side.
We got it.
But yeah, that's the second fight in a row from what I've seen where Ekko actually hasn't had a chance to cast his ulti just because of all the CC on the other side, so he might have to try and not be so greedy with that ulti and cast it a little bit earlier just to get it off, because right now he's just getting CC'd up and defeated.
Possible fight in the top lane. I just think it's going to be a little poke damage back and forth, but we do see the Drake up now, so I wonder if that is going to be a priority. We do have 1 Drake to 1 Ocean to Mountain, and yeah, I wonder if teams are going to try pick up this Drake. It is a Cloud Soul, so it's not the most important, but definitely still beneficial.
Yeah, look, Soul is Soul. And, you know, you want to have Soul, and you'd rather have Soul than the other team have Soul, no matter what Soul it is. Galio wants to engage, so does the Ekko. I think that's a dead Nami.
Oh, here goes the Nami. Oh, the stun comes out, and that Nami is dead, like you said.
Yeah, she's, you know, you got to be careful with your pathing if you don't have vision. You know, as a Nami, you're so squishy still, and this Ekko, his burst damage is quite insane already.
Ornn does stop the back from the volley, and we do see the Wukong taking the Rift Herald on the top side in response to this Drake, and Drake does go down. And will Wukong get that Drake? Oh, the Rift Herald, he will.
Volibear wants to fight this Ornn. I don't
in the mid lane, we possibly see.
Here comes Wukong. Fight as well. Okay, no, yeah, let's go to the
great bubble coming out. Doesn't flash comes out, but he doesn't get the stun. Great root in place or ice from the Lissandra to stop that Ekko. And here comes the Wukong and the Volibear. Ulti coming out from the Lissandra onto the Galio, and there's the ulti from the Volibear. Great ulti from the Wukong to get the knock up, but there's the kill. Oh, will Wukong be able to get out of this? I'm not too sure, but he does actually live and take that kill. And
we missed the kill in the bot lane by the looks of things. The Jhin going down. So I don't know if you can give us a highlight of that.
We can. Let's jump back to time over here, and we are going back into the bot lane. We do see Jhin under tower, and I'm not too sure exactly how he gets picked up from this. He is waiting here with the Nami. We did see that fight in the mid lane already. I think, the damage coming out from the Aphelios on the Lulu just once again doing so much, and the Aphelios crit just kills the Jhin out of nowhere, so...
Okay, don't hop back straight back into live. You did miss something in the mid lane.
Here we go. Okay, we are going back into this mid lane. Wukong pushing with the Rift Herald. He does decide to drop it and maybe just overextend. Does go in and does get the tower. A little greedy to get that kill. Here comes the Ornn though. In the response, Wukong doesn't have much mana. He is running down into the Aphelios and does get the kill. Easy peasy.
Aphelios just says thanks.
Yeah, a little overstay. Oh, and we do have another fight. Jeez, trying to get back into real life time here, and we just see action.
Oh, the Ekko getting jumped in the Baron pit.
No, on the Nami. Here it comes. Yeah, Ekko is clearing a ward. We do see Jhin and Nami kind of turning around. Great damage coming out from the Jhin, but the ulti I'm picturing does come out. He does dash over the wall and then ultis, which is a little strange. And yeah, then he dies, and the Nami actually steals the kill. That scumbag support coming out once again.
Yeah, what a troll.
Okay, yeah. DC for 5 minutes and then comes and steals all the kills.
Yeah. Okay, looks like Wukong is moving to this top side, but I don't think they can dive this Ornn. This Ornn is so tanky right now.
It's about 3,000 health, and we do get a lovely lag spike just because it is Riot. Once again, we do see a possible fight coming in the jungle. He does manage to get his blue, the Ekko, and OG decide to back off. Oh, stun coming out in the top lane, and this might just be tank wars once again. They are deciding to actually fight this, turning around, doing damage, and this is going to be the long game. No, they turn around and run away. It's going to be a long fight if those two decide to go at each other.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh.
But that's the thing, you know, with this Ornn, is that he doesn't mind taking those short trades, because in the end he usually comes off with the better half of that trade.
Aphelios just...
Yeah. And, you know, because of his passive and the fact that he can just build items in lane.
Ekko is going to go into this Jhin, does get the stun. The Dark Harvest does come through, he does flash, but not going to be worthwhile, unfortunately. And we do have Drake coming up in about 40 seconds. And I think this...
that Ekko has just a little bit too much mobility for something like a Jhin to get away from.
Ekko's trying to do the same thing onto the Lissandra. Will he be able to achieve it? He doesn't go in. Lissandra uses the claw to get over the wall and to safety once again. And this tower is very low in the mid lane.
But yeah, this Ekko is slowly starting to build up damage, and you know he's really, and you know, I think. Yeah, it's a little bit. It looks like it's easier for Ekko to get onto that Jhin than it is for the Wukong to get onto that Aphelios. So I think the jungler is going to make quite a big difference. The jungle pick as the game progresses.
Yeah, and I was just looking at the. Oh, we do have an engage onto the Wukong. Ulti does come through. Ekko does keep going. Double Wukong ulti once again. Lissandra's in there, but she doesn't decide to ulti. She does root them up. But she is stuck there now. Aphelios doing damage onto the Jhin. With those chakrams, the Volibear does come in. Here comes the Jhin ulti to get some damage. Galio ulti kind of coming out. We do see the kill onto the Jhin on that Lulu in the top side. And Volibear is very low. Will he be able to get out of this? I'm not too sure. Great root coming out from the Jhin. And Gravitum does slow them. Wukong does to turn around, but the Jhin, Aphelios says goodbye.
Yeah, but as you can see, because the Ekko died, there's no real kill pressure onto that Jhin, so both ADCs just laying waste to the other team.
Yeah, and what I was getting to is that I did check the Ekko's Dark Harvest stacks, and he was sitting at 9 before that fight. He might be at a little
10,
bit further, but he is seeming to stack those, yeah.
But still, I mean, 10 stacks in 25 minutes.
Is it worth it?
Is it as effective as
the electrocute?
Something like electrocute could have been done.
Maybe, yeah.
But let's see.
Definitely agree with you on that. I think I still feel you need quite a few Dark Harvest stacks for it to be worthwhile, but we do see the upgraded Infinity Edge going into that Molten Edge.
It just sounds so sick. Although, I mean, sort of mathematically, nothing beats Infinity. Because, I mean, there is
bigger than that.
But it doesn't sound quite as cool as Molten Edge.
Let's see what is going to happen. We do see kind of a reset from both teams. Nami is trying to put down vision and does spot a pink ward, but the Ekko is here in response. Ooh, they do decide to go in. Lissandra misses her bind. And Aphelios does use the Gravitum to secure that. Stun, that's the thing coming out from Jhin.
And I say, did you see a kill that I didn't?
No. I was trying to think of the name. It wasn't really. Oh, Root, I suppose.
Right, this is only game 1. Can you please remember English?
Okay. I'm waking up. The pause in the beginning definitely, in this cold weather, is causing brain function to slow down. But all this action is definitely getting it heated. Galio in the bot lane, and I'm not too sure we're going to see a fight. We might see one in the mid lane. Let's jump to this Jhin quickly to see. I don't think they're going to stick around for this tower. It does look like the Aphelios is here. Does get the root once again onto the Aphelios, but
these shields coming out
nothing
of Lulu
really
now
happened.
Pretty big.
Oh, she does have that Ardent Sensor. Chalice coming out. Oh, we do see a possible team fight coming. Galio is in the wings, but he does get spotted by a pink ward. Volibear is going in, and yeah, they seem to collapse onto this Galio. Great root onto the 2. Wukong does go down to about half health. Ekko stun great into the Galio ulti, which is going to knock up 2-3 members into the team. Aphelios ulti does miss, unfortunately, but the damage coming out, this Wukong is going to go down onto the Aphelios, and I think this is going to be an ace coming out, and no, the Nami actually does get away. Ekko is going to chase her under the tower. There's the Dark Star Harvest hack stack, and he is going to die, yeah? Great kill coming up on the Nami. Support carry.
But they're moving up towards Baron.
Yeah, I do see them there.
They don't have a jungler though. I can't imagine Nami can steal this, but if they take too long, I mean, Wukong is up in almost 5 seconds now.
Yeah.
Oh no, but this is gonna melt.
Yeah, with the Aphelios damage, it's just with the Lulu. And they don't have any TPs or anything to kind of stop this. Do you have the tank? The Galio is getting a little low. Yeah, he's gonna back off from that, but
that's close.
The Aphelios does manage to secure that Baron for his team. And this is
very nice.
Definitely swinging between the teams. Big gold lead
nice
coming out
from Era Lost Time on the red side. The third item, I don't know if you saw it there on the Aphelios, is that Death Dance. You know, I think we highlight this every game because we see it in just about every game now. If you're not aware of this item or the fact that it gets built on ADCs, it works on pretty much any AD champion quite nicely. It gives you some nice tank and defensive stance as well, helps keep you alive just a little bit longer. Just a very nice item, a very popular item on the ADCs at the moment. I think the only one that doesn't really build it is maybe someone like Ezreal and something like the Lethality Varus. But yeah, definitely a good item, and happy to see him pick that up. Lulu has finished. Oh, there we go. Okay, so Ardent Sensor plus Dean's Unholy Grail. I mean, it's really, really going to be tough to burst this Aphelios down now, as long as, you know, Lulu stays close to him.
Yeah, and yeah, while we're on items, we do see that upgraded Xayah is coming into the Xayah's Paradox for the Ekko, coming out from that Ornn top lane, and that's the benefits of the Ornn. He is pushing in the top lane, does have TP to come down for this Drake in about 13 seconds. And
the thing is, no one on blue side can deal with this Ornn. They just don't have the damage.
Yeah, we do see the Aphelios probably going for a Phantom Dancer. Jhin looking for that Infinity Edge, but we do see Drake being started here. Jhin is ulting and he doesn't manage to get the kill, but he is doing some damage and not that much. It was pretty close, but
it was pretty close.
Great smite coming out, and that is sold for Era.
Yeah, so it's going to feel really good for the Ornn. It's going to feel really good for well, it's going to feel really good for all of them, actually. You know, it's not the most popular soul to get, but this draft is actually really going to like it. They all have very good ultis with fairly long cooldowns usually, so this is going to feel really good for all of them.
Yeah, and I kind of just expect 1-3-1 to come out here. Galio in the bot lane with those Baron minions. Does have the OT to join in any team fights, and Ornn should stick in the top lane. He also has that TP to come down, so I'm not too... Yeah, I think he's just getting vision to make sure, and we do see a possible 3-man gank in the jungle, but doesn't look likely. Galio just guiding that. Oh, yeah, so possible dive in the bot lane. No, they're just going to take the turret.
Turret's going to go down. Yeah, so this... there's two people in the top lane. I think they've seen this. You know, there's two blue in the top lane. So red side should try and push in this bot lane. They do have the man advantage. That being said, Aphelios goes into the mid lane. Okay, so they're not going to try and take advantage of that extra person on the bot side.
Yeah, looks like they're just gonna take this mid lane, and yeah, as I say that, it goes down. So
yeah,
ooh, possible fight in the jungle. Yeah, onto the Wukong. Wukong is trying to get away. He misses the blast cone. Ulti coming out from the Lissandra. Great ulti onto 3 men, but I think the Ornn ulti is just gonna knock it up. And Aphelios is just doing too much damage at the moment. Ekko's wreaking havoc on the backside. Volley almost gets the kill onto the Lulu, but she does get away with about 65 health.
They don't have Baron buff anymore, but I think that they can finish 20 seconds on the Wukong,
yeah.
30 seconds on the Lissandra. I think this might be GG. There's quite a big wave in the bot lane here that they're rotating towards. Yes, I think this is GG.
Flash coming out from the Ornn to get to that turret.
Listen, you know what? I actually think that. You know what? Go for the win. If you're gonna go for the win, go all out.
Yeah, might as well. Back. There goes the Wukong, and that is going to be GG for the first game. Yeah, great
performance here out of last time. You know, there was a stage when the Jhin started getting a bit carried away. We thought that maybe, despite their DC, that OG on the blue side were going to be able to start pressing that advantage, that Jhin looked unkillable. But I think, you know, Red Era held their nerve and played their comp very nicely. I think the biggest problem was the disconnect, obviously. But besides that, I think the biggest problem was that Ornn in the top lane, there was just nothing that they could do against it. That volley was not effective against that Ornn, and that Ornn is just so much more useful in team fights. Plus, you know, the longer you drag that game out, the more upgrades you give to the rest of your team. And yeah, just very well played by Era. Let's hope that we don't have a DC in the second game. And I'm also hoping for some adaptations to the draft, to the pick and ban phase.
Yeah, definitely great game coming up from both teams. Definitely thought it was going to go back to the side of Era there. No, OG, if I'm not mistaken, with the Jhin. Like you said, kind of getting ahead. And then I think, yeah, maybe some misplays coming out from Era. Giving those kills over to that Jhin, but definitely being able to keep their calm, keep their composure. Just moving to the spectate mode there, thank you. And
oh shit.
Yeah, being able to keep their composure and basically bringing that game back to them. So we are going into a game 2. I'm wondering if they are going to. No, LunaLavender is still here.
Back. Look,
so
I think by the time she finally properly rejoined, she didn't have any connection issues after that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it seems like it should be sorted.
No, we are just waiting for the last person to come out.
Okay, and the sides are swapping. So Era have chosen blue side, so they will have that first pick. And I wonder what they're planning to first pick. I think if the Aphelios doesn't get banned by Vindicatus, then I think we might see an Aphelios being prioritized here. Or even the Lulu.
Yeah, I think the Lulu definitely going to be one to.
But I think, like I said, that's why I want to see some adaptation here come through from Vindicatus in terms of who they ban. I mean, we saw a Nautilus ban, which you can probably still go for, but the Kayn and the Kiana, you know, look, that being said, maybe they let them through, they get picked and they get wrecked by them. It's possible, but I really think it might be more worthwhile for them to ban this, at least the Lulu, if not also the Aphelios.
Yeah, I think that Aphelios might get banned, but I'm not too sure what they might answer. I mean, we have seen quite a few Aphelios bans in the previous games, not specifically this one, but different series. And we kind of saw the reason for it coming out in this last game, the burst potential and just being able
He's
to
a really strong champion.
go between those weapons and use them effectively is definitely something that a lot of teams should respect. But I think it's going to be another close game. Let us know what you guys think in terms of who you think is going to take game 2.
Who do you want to see them ban? How do you guys feel about, do you think the Kayn and the Kiana ban need to come out again from Vindicatus, or should they be abandoning that Aphelios, or the Lulu, or the Ornn? Because I think that those specifically were 3 champions that they really struggled to deal with. They're probably not going to be able to ban all of them, although that's 3, so it's possible. But the other thing is, if you don't ban the Aphelios and you only ban, say, the Lulu, I don't think that's all that's going to shut down or stop them from playing the Aphelios, because Aphelios actually usually gets put with something like a Thresh. That's actually a lot more popular from what I've seen than pairing it up with the Lulu. And the Thresh went completely untouched in terms of the picks and the bans in the last draft. So
yeah, it's definitely going to be quite interesting to see who they're going to ban. Like you said, who do you guys want to see? I mean, we've seen quite a few. I think the Lissandra is probably still going to be banned. I'm not too sure if that Ekko is going to be banned. I know there is quite a few. It was quite a bit potent pick in that jungle, getting quite a few Dark Harvest stacks. So we will have to see what happens with that. But just waiting, I think there's just going to be a 5-minute break coming up between the teams. And as I say that, the team says they are ready. So it does look like we are going into game 2.
are we? Okay, yeah, looks like the players are ready. Yeah, okay, so now, have they chatted? Have they had enough time to rethink their strategy in the draft? I did say from the beginning that I fancied Red Side's draft, and I think they showed us the power of their draft at the end. The result is definitely skewed by the fact that we had that DC, so, things in theory could have changed. It could have played very differently if the Nami had been there for the entirety of the game and not DC'd. But really, I think the later that game went, the more and more it just went in favor of that Red Side draft in the last game. So yeah, like I say, I want to see at least one of those champions either banned, or otherwise, look, the other possibility is you don't ban them, but you prioritize them in your picks. And also, if you... it looks like we're just waiting for one player to get back here. But yeah, so I mean, the nice thing about Blue Side is you have that first pick, but it's only one champion. And if 3 power picks are available, that means, you're trading 1 power pick for 2. I don't know. You have to be pretty ballsy to go for that strategy, I think. But let's see. I don't want to see, well, and this is just a personal thing, but I don't think I want to see that much priority being put on the Volibear. I mean, maybe you prioritize him again and put him in the jungle rather than in the top lane. It's a possibility. I still think the Wukong, if he gets through, especially if he gets through into the second round of the pick phase, is definitely worth picking up. But like I say, I want to see him go in a solo lane then. And probably not into the Ornn. I think Ornn does just fine in that matchup. Although that being said, I mean, the Wukong I think does just fine as well, and it's a chance for him to just farm up and level up, get to that ulti, at which point he can team fight and make a difference. So yeah, I think this is going to be very interesting. I think if we don't see adaptation, it might cost the team a game. But yeah, let's just hope for no DCs. That's the main thing that I'm hoping for in this game.
Yeah, we did have quite a bit long pause coming out, and out of the votes on who's going to win, it's a 50-50 split, 1 for 1 vote. Not much vote. We're definitely not being biased at all. there's quite a bit of chat coming out considering those rules and stuff, but yeah, I think I mean, even there, it was still quite an exciting game, even coming out with that pause and the disconnects. But yeah, definitely unfortunate to have that solo lane for quite a while. But yeah, unfortunately, yeah, rules are rules, and I mean, it wasn't totally unfair. But yeah, I'm definitely not going to get into all of those. It's definitely not my position. I'll leave it to the teams to decide what's happening. But we are just waiting to get into the second game of OG versus Era. Lost time, that is.
Yeah, look, I think the quicker we can get into game, the
better.
sooner
Yeah.
these issues of time can potentially be put behind us as well. So I'm not sure entirely what we're waiting for. I mean, obviously the players, you need to afford them an opportunity to be able to go and, something like going to the bathroom is like a basic human need. You can't really deprive someone of that, but hopefully we can get into the game as quickly as possible because we want to see more action.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I think the sooner we do get in, I do know teams do have a 5 minute in between, so I'm sure. I say 5 minutes, but then it's going to be another rule thing where if he's in the bathroom for longer than that, then might become an issue. So definitely not going to get into those logistics. It just seems like we're going to have to chill out and wait.
Worst case scenario, I don't know how many South Park fans we have out there, but you might remember a very old episode. I think the name of the episode is Make Love Not Warcraft. We saw Cartman's solution to going to the toilet issue. I'm not sure. I don't think any of these guys are staying in their parents' basements, and either of their moms are quite as loving as Cartman's mother is in that perspective, maybe. But you can the point I'm trying to make is you can also always sort of make a plan. But yeah, let's maybe not get carried away and lose sight of the fact that we're here to watch some League of Legends.
Yeah, so I did get clarification that it's a 15-minute break if they want to do so.
Okay.
So
then that's fine. It's reasonable. Like we say, people also deserve a break.
So yeah, so I suppose we will take a break for now, and as soon as this game does get underway, then we will get back to all the live action. So we'll see you in a bit. And we're back to all the action. Yeah, as soon as we got into it, we're back. So we are waiting for the first ban to come out from Era over here. They are banning that Shenaway, which we have seen in the past, and we do know that.
No, well, they took the Shen away last time as well, and I said, you know, I think it's a very comfortable pick for the top laner on the other side for KnightBladeX.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that.
So
from
fine.
what I've seen,
And-
there's the
and,
Nautilus
yeah,
and
the
the
thing is,
Cinder once again.
I don't think we need to see too much deviation from Era, who are now on the blue side. Let's use the lost time. But okay, so we're actually seeing the Yuumi ban come out of Vindicatus. I think Lost Time actually banned it last time. So I wonder what their third ban is going to be. I wonder if they ban something like the Nautilus.
The Nautilus is already banned.
Oh, damn, sorry. Yes, I missed it. Okay, so...
the Lulu, possibly? Oh,
no,
yeah, they would keep the Lulu to probably first pick it, yeah.
Yeah, they're going to tell them now. You either ban the Lulu...
Or we're going to pick it.
Or the Aphelios. Okay, so
there's the Kiana once again.
Yeah, so now I want to pick them up.
Aphelios.
I want to see them pick up at least a Lulu. That maybe not the Ornn. I would probably like a Lulu and a Ornn. But I think they need to prioritize something like this Lulu. That being said, you know, like I said, a very common pick that's paired up with this Aphelios is actually the Thresh. So, you know, yes, you can take that Lulu away, but you didn't ban the Thresh. You chose to ban Kiana. So, I don't know. Okay, so this is
different.
That Mordekaiser, I think, is in response to a possible Ornn. My only hesitation around that is I think you could have waited to see if the Ornn actually comes out, because the fact that you've picked Mordekaiser this early, and the fact that we know it's not a mid-order Mordekaiser because the Orianna is mid, I'm not so sure that it should have been locked in just yet. I think it could have been locked. Like I say, I would have liked to see it locked in response to an Ornn, but not before the Ornn. Anyway, so the Lulu was left open, which means Lost Time are just going to pick that up. Why wouldn't they? I think that laning phase went just fine.
Yep.
She is a great champion, and they're just going to... So far, we're seeing pretty much the exact same team. The same 3 picks that we saw in the last game.
And in terms of this last pick, I mean...
Yeah, so Galio... I mean, I played a lot of Galio last season, and there haven't really been much changes to him. Galio is just an all-around pretty good pick into any AP mid laner, courtesy of the little bit of a spell shield that he gets on the passive of his W, as far as I know, the passive from that taunt. Okay, so that's surprising, actually. I really thought this Mordekaiser pick was because they were anticipating an Ornn, so the fact that they banned it does surprise me a little bit. But that being said, I mean, Ornn is still a great champion, and the fact that you've picked the Mordekaiser means that you probably can't pick the Ornn unless you want to run him support, which is not great. So, okay, fair enough. The Rakan taken away, we know that she's, you know, Xayah likes her soulmate in the lane. It is a very dangerous duo. I still think the Thresh is an option for red side, for Vindicatus, so I wonder if we'll see a Thresh ban after that Rakan ban. But I'd like to actually, I think I want to see them hit that support boost again.
Coming out and
so we saw the Kayn ban earlier.
So
no junglers. Oh, know what? Trundle is still available.
Okay. As you say that.
Okay, good call.
So what are we waiting for yet? Junglers?
So
we need a support and jungle coming out from OG.
Yeah, so I wonder if we see something like a Thresh.
Top lane and a jungle coming out from last time. So I think this is gonna be a support. Actually, the jungle coming out, the Jarvan.
Okay, so they're not waiting to see, and they don't want to give blue side the opportunity to pick up that Jarvan. I mean, the Jarvan Galio comp is pretty disgusting as well. So, first of all, just a solid pick Jarvan, I think, with something like Trundle taken off the table, and also, you know, denying it from lost time. I think is probably a good idea. Okay, and they're
There's the
actually gonna turn
volley.
around and pick up that volley. I wonder if this is volley jungle or volley in the top lane. I think it might be volley jungle, but let's wait and
Yeah,
see.
there's
Oh
the
no,
Ekko
okay.
again. And
So
I'm
it's going
pretty
to be
sure
volley
that's
in the
going to
top
be...
lane. So this is a bit of a troll pick, in the sense that, you know, it feels like last time I was saying that we know how to play volley in the top lane, and we're going to show you.
No, we'll
So
have to see.
this feels like the gauntlet has been laid down by last time with this pick. But the rest of the squad, it's basically the same team that we saw from game one.
There's the Janna
Orianna.
to
Okay.
hopefully protect that side a little bit more disengaged, I suppose, with the Galio and the volley. She can use that tornado as well as the ulti to push back that Galio so they don't get taunted.
Yeah,
There's that
look, you can
possibility.
also try and get rid of that Ekko when he's diving in. You know, the Yana ulti can blow him away. You can also try and knock him up with that tornado. I'm a little bit surprised because in terms of the mid jungler, the Orianna wants to put the ball on the
Onto
Jarvan
the...
who wants to jump in
Yes.
and then, you know, combine those ultis. But then, you know, the Mordekaiser on the other hand is a bit of a disengaged champion with his ulti, you know, taking someone out into, you know, and playing his own little side game over there. So yeah, it's
I
a
think
bit of a strange draft for me on the red side.
what I think with regards to that is, yeah, I mean, obviously they're going to use those ulti combo, and I mean, Mordekaiser could potentially take the Galio out from a potential 3 or 4 man taunt and take that away from the team. Something like that, maybe a Volibear with his tankiness um, could kind
I
of keep them
I
away from the fight and hopefully protect their carries and let the rest of the team kind of do all the damage. And
I think if you're a Mordekaiser, you're probably looking to take the Ekko out of the fight. Because the Ekko is the only person that really has a lot of backline threat in this comp from the blue side. So if Mordekaiser can get rid of him in those team fights, it will really do a lot to keep this Xayah and this Orianna alive.
yeah, we're gonna, I suppose, have to wait and see. We do see teams swapping about, and they do look like they are locked in. So we are going to be going into the masteries and summoner spells relatively soon. But yeah, I think it's
As
going
we
to
see
be
them, yeah.
another interesting game from both sides. We do have lost Vindicatus on that first one of the game. For everybody who is joining us, we are about to dive into Game 2 of Era Lost Time versus OG Vindicatus. And I think it's going to be another exciting one.
Wait, no. So just to
Oh,
clarify,
Era, yes,
lost time
Era is on the left side. Yes, on blue side.
after winning the first game. Vindicators lost.
Oh,
Vindicators were on blue side and they lost.
sorry, my mistake there. Um, there we go.
Okay, yeah. So we have about a minute before we'll see the runes and the summoner spells, and then we'll get into game.
Yep.
Okay, and I think we're going to jump into the loading screen round about now. Okay, so Ekko's running that Dark Harvest again, which, yeah, I mean, it seemed to sort of work. I didn't get to see how many stacks he had at the end of the game. Did you happen to catch how many?
Unfortunately did not. The last time I checked was those 9 before that team fight, and then there was just so much action between the teams that...
Yeah, but even with all that action, I doubt it would have been much more than about 20 by the end of the game. But yeah, let's see. Hopefully he can start backing them up a little bit sooner this game.
Yeah, I think nothing really different coming out from the teams. Phase Rush coming out on Orianna, and obviously Conqueror makes sense on the Mordekaiser. But we are going to...
Yeah, lethal tempo on the Xayah. Again, yeah, she wants that little burst of attack speed, which makes sense, whereas the Aphelios wants a bit more, you know, he's...
Sustain. Damage.
Sort of about, yeah, that stay in those long trades, not those short, quick trades.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah, curious to see what BilboSaggins can do with this Volibear in the top lane. You know, he did just play against it, and I think he showed that it can be shut down, so let's see if he can prove that the opposite is also true. I think this might be a somewhat tricky matchup into someone like a Mordekaiser, but maybe, you know, in the early game, especially if his jungler comes and helps, I mean, yeah, you know, Volibear with these Q into, you know, something with that damage coming through from the Ekko, I think, you know, you can definitely take this pretty immobile Mordekaiser down quite quickly. He's not that tanky at the beginning of the game.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know, basically the reason you pick Jarvan is because of that great flag and drag comp that he has. It really allows him to pull off some really nice ganks. I see he went with Aftershock, which is somewhat unusual. It's not very common from what I've seen. Usually it's something like an Electrocute. But I mean, he does have a lot of CC, so it will definitely be very easy for him to proc that Aftershock. In fact, with the flag and drag, he'll be able to proc that Aftershock. So let's see what he can do. I want him to have a really big presence, you know, from early on in this game.
We are just loading up into the Rift at the moment. We do see a little bit of a slow load once again coming out, and teams are going to be loading into the Rift now. We do see them coming in, items being bought. We will try to get you to live time, which I did get to, and we do have a DC coming up from the Mordekaiser, but he is back actually.
Oh my goodness.
As I say that.
Okay,
Are we going to see a fight in this beginning game? Do get a mini lag spike coming out, but possible fight in this jungle coming out. Let me just...
No, I think if Jarvan, you just back away.
Rearrange,
you know, as long as you keep running, they can't catch you.
There we go. Scoreboard is updated. The Jarvan is going in. He does put that wall down. Will the volley get it? No, he does not. Unfortunately, there is a wall coming down on the back side of that red. Sure. And
yeah, and it looks like we're going to see the same thing that we saw last time. Ekko, okay, wait, he's recording, so he might still come down to the spot side. Okay, yes, he's going to start in his red. I thought, you know, Lulu and Aphelios might try and go get to lane early, get that that early level 2 like they did last game. But, you know, with the double range on the other side, it's not necessarily as punishing.
Yeah.
So just a fairly standard start here all round.
Ekko starting on the red with the pull from the bot side, like you were mentioning. And yeah, relatively standard start. Volibear waiting in the top side, not really showing his position to maybe pretend like he did start at the jungle. And now we see him coming through the lane to pick up that first creep. He will, and he does get hit by the Mordekaiser, which does absolutely no damage.
Yeah, so just you know, you touched on a point there that I think is worth just having a quickly elaborating on. So for anyone watching who's not really sure why the volley hung back like that, it's as Dynasty says, he's just waiting around because, you know, he's trying to sort of put that doubt in the mind of the other team to have them sort of second guess as to whether Ekko started on his blue or on his red, because if he runs straight into lane, then red side know for sure that, or the red team know for sure that Ekko started on his blue, which means the Mordekaiser then also knows sort of when to expect this volley to get you at the soonest. So League of Legends is a game of is a big trade.
Yeah. It's gonna jump into it,
but
but I don't think there's gonna be a fight. So.
Yeah, no, there
or
won't
a
be
kill.
League of Legends is a game of information. Information is really valuable in this game. So the more information you have, the better. And it looks like Ekko does want to come for a possible gank in the top lane.
He's pinging it out, and we do see them moving up. We
It isn't actually warded, but I think the Volibear made it a little bit too obvious. Yeah, but
he's coming around the backside. He's waiting for that, but
yeah, this Mordekaiser really just needs to. He may as well just reset, because the way he's pushing in, rather give up that CS than give up first blood. Yes, it feels bad, but with the wave pushing in, it looks like he's going to try freeze it.
No, but with that electrocute damage coming out, it's going to be pretty difficult. Here comes a TP in the top lane, and Ekko can kind of just go back and rinse and repeat, but the Jarvan is there for a possible counter gank, and we do see the red. Galio misses it, but does...
the taunt landed?
Yeah, it did land. No, I meant the knock-up. Missed the knock-up.
Oh,
the stutter step coming out from the Orianna in response to that.
Ekko got his first Dark Armor stack.
On the Orianna.
On the Orianna,
Galio
yes.
is potentially... We do see Ekko moving into the bot lane, but they are a little down on this lane,
So
I don't think.
Jarvan is actually quite hard farmed before pulling off his first gank. I'm quite used to seeing at least a level 3 gank, sometimes even a level 2 gank. So, I think not necessarily making full use of this champion's early game gank potential, but he is clearing out some vision in the mid lane for a possible gank.
Yeah, I don't think that's
This
going to
Galio
come
is
through.
pretty tricky to kill at this stage as well. You need quite a lot of damage to burst through a full health Galio. And that means Jarvan's just going to go back to farming. So I want to see if he moves towards this bot lane before his team push it in. But yeah, no, he can't get to in time. He's going to have to wait for his team to bounce this wave.
Oh, Galio does stop the back from the Orianna, and Ekko is sharing the bot lane. He does put it, does get the Gravitum down onto the Janna, and double flash coming out actually to try and secure that. Flash away from the Janna and flash from the Ekko to try and get that bubble, but nothing really happening. Jarvan is sharing the wings. Is he going to take that? There is no bubble to take. Ekko's trying to go in, and there's a lovely leg spike. Oh, we do see that Xayah doing some damage. Lulu coming out with the shield, and that's the end of that. So not
yeah, but
as...
I mean, you already. I don't know if you saw just how much damage that Ekko's Q did onto the Janna. I know we saw it last game how quickly Ekko was able to burst down some of these squishy champions. And that's why, I think in these team fights, I really expect Mordekaiser to prioritize getting the Ekko out of this fight.
He's still on one Dark Harvest stack, so we do see the Jarvan kind of hanging around the Drake,
yeah,
but the Ekko is there.
His Scryer's orb ran out before he managed to clear out that ward. So he's... Okay, he might
Ekko's coming down once again. He does knock up the Ekko. He is attacking him. No flash on this Ekko, so I'm not too sure if they're going to go for it. There's the TP coming out actually from the Galio, and the bubbles coming around, but great tornado coming out from the Janna to stop that push, and that will be the end of that.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons you picked this Janna. You mentioned that she's a disengage or very good disengaged champion. She's going to be able to keep that Galio.
We do see a small ulti coming out in the top lane. A flash coming out from the Mordekaiser, follow flash from the Volibear. He is looking to get that, but he is unfortunately not able to get the kill. We do jump to the bot side, and the tornado does come out, but nothing gonna follow from that. Tornado does miss from the Janna. And
I don't know if you saw, but Ekko just died in his jungle.
Oh,
So
I did not.
technically not first blood. First
Oh,
blood
to
is
the
still up
creeps.
and available, but yeah. And
Here
this
comes
is
the Jarvan
Ekko.
in the bot side. He doesn't get the knockup. Great sidestep from the
Oh.
Aphelios, and it just pushed down that turret to dissuade this gank, and that's
Very nice sidestep.
a great play from the Aphelios, just making sure that he doesn't die on the bot lane. The Ekko is coming in. There are no wards here for the bot lane. He does put the bubble down.
Janna needs to be
Doesn't get the stun. The flash coming out from the Xayah to dodge that stun, and great play.
I'm not sure she needed to flash, but you know what? She's alive. Doesn't give up first blood, so you know I suppose rather safe than sorry. But now we're gonna have, you know, I'd like to see them try to punish this flashless ADC before she gets
support.
And support, yeah. Yeah, I was just gonna say, you know, the other thing about Ekko jungle, I've tried it as well, is he is quite squishy.
We do see Ekko fight in the river over here. Jarvan does get the EQ
nice
combo,
turn.
but they are continuing with the Drake. This is going to be an Ocean Drake, so it's going to feel really good in the lane with that regeneration. Jarvan is hanging around, but I don't think they're going to be able to steal this. He does get in for the re-engage, but I'm not too sure. Flash, three-man taunt, which is a great one. Double knock-up on the ulti Lulu from that, and flashes away. Flash from the Aphelios to actually go in. Galio coming in with the ulti, and the three-man knock-up. He doesn't get the kill on the Jarvan, but Galio does get first blood, and Ekko picks up the kill on the Janna on the backside. Orianna is here, trying to do damage. Almost burst down that Galio, but flash coming out. Oh, she does get the kill onto the Aphelios, and that looks like it's going to be a dead Orianna, but the Jarvan does answer. Now he's stuck in this bush, and he does get smashed into death from the Galio. And then we have a 2-for-2 engage over there, well, trade, so definitely a good fight, but...
Did you say 2-for-2?
I think 4-for-2.
What? 4-for-2.
No, yeah. Was it a 4-for-2 fight?
4-for-2, yes.
Sure.
Yeah. So, you know, I apologize to Unhappy Birthday. I said that was a greedy flash forward. It was actually a great flash forward because it helped to bring the Galio. It allowed him to ulti into that fight, which really turned it around. So nice coordination from Lost Time.
Yeah, and we do see the reset coming up. BF Sword and Pickaxe picked up by this Aphelios with that CS lead. Just the BF Sword coming out from the Xayah. She does have another potion, but that's about it. Mobility boots coming out from the Janna. We do see it possibly coming out.
Ekko wants to come bot.
I think Jarvan's just going to go for that scuttle. Ekko, if he does go through the river, will get seen by that pink ward. Oh, control ward, yeah. Rather take that. Oh, he doesn't get the other one, unfortunately.
He knows it's there, though.
Jarvan's taking Rift Herald.
Yeah, so, I mean, you know the other junglers at the bot side of the map, your top laner...
We do have a potential fight in the top lane.
He has priority. Oh, I think this is dead.
No.
Okay. Volibear's ult was up. I thought he might all in there. And that means the fact that he didn't commit to that means that Jarvan actually gets to take this Herald. Uncontested.
Yeah, it does take it on the backside there.
Okay, so that's going to feel good. For Bulletjie on the Jarvan. I wonder where they're going to drop it. They haven't taken any plates in any of the lanes, so there's no obvious place to put it as yet. At least not to drop a tower, so we'll have to see.
We do see Aphelios moving into the jungle, actually coming into this top lane. Lulu does spot the Janna though, and they decide to turn around. She does place the ward there. Galio kind of looking around, but it does look like they're going to come for this Rift Herald. Rift Herald's on the red team, I lie. 4-man gank in the mid lane, but it does get spotted out by a pink ward.
Yeah, and Orianna's pretty good wave clear, so yeah, I think that's a bit of an optimistic play, but you know what, why not? You know, they made the movement, they didn't burn anything.
Ooh, here comes the Ekko from the side, does get the taunt onto it, and that is a dead Orianna. Great combo play from the Galio coming out, and using the knock-up with the taunt to get the damage. Mordekaiser actually grabs the Volibear to come in, but he doesn't manage to. I don't know if he wants this fight.
To do
He
that?
is doing some good damage, and yeah, it was a even trade, so not too bad on that top lane.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, this Mordekaiser has taken Mercury treads. So you know he doesn't really have any armor. In fact, he doesn't have any armor. Jarvan wants to get this Galio.
Oh, here comes the Volibear once
I don't
again.
think he wants to take this.
Does
fight.
land the stun. Galio's onto the Jarvan. We do have a fight in the top lane. Jarvan does EQ over the wall. Flash coming out from the Ekko, and it does look like he's going to get the kill. Orianna does miss the ulti, unfortunately, because the Jarvan did die. Galio's ulti coming in is going to not get the knock up onto the Xayah because of that ulti. And great ulti from the Janna to keep them all away.
Yes.
TP is coming out into the river, and now Mordekaiser is kind of stuck alone. He does take the Lulu into the death realm, and he is fighting her with the passive coming out. Ulti does knock him out, but after this he flashes over the wall, but there is the Ekko. He was actually trying to go for the Janna, but turns around and decides to fight the Mordekaiser instead, and we do see Volibear pushing in the top lane by himself. He's going to get a turret plate, and looks like Era is going to get this Drake. There is no contesting on that.
Uncontested trade. Okay, so I wonder what. Yeah, let's have a look at what map we're gonna get here. Infernal. Yes. Okay, so we're gonna have an Infernal map.
Oh, great damage coming from the Aphelios. He does use the passive of the second gun to get that Gravitum on, but doesn't get the kill. And we do have a reset.
And Ekko, this Ekko jungle pick is proving to be quite a nuisance and quite a thorn in the side of this Vindicatus side. What do you?
The damage coming up from the Volibear onto that Mordekaiser.
Yeah, and like I said, the thing is, the Mordekaiser, you know, he got the Mercury treads. He has a cloth armor now, but it's not going to do much to stop the damage coming out of the volley. Whereas the volley can just go full, you know, magic resist at the moment, like he has. He's got a null magic mantle, he's got a Spectre's Car and a Mercury tread, so he's going to take almost no damage from this Mordekaiser. But yeah, what I was saying is this, you know, this Ekko is proving to be quite a impactful pick on, you know, for lost time, and I'm wondering if it would have been better for Vindicatus to have banned the Ekko rather than the Kayn.
We do see a Rift Arrow coming out in the bot lane, and I was just checking while you were saying all of that. The Ekko is on 6 Dark Harvest stacks so far. Rift Arrow coming down, but the Galio is here in response. I'm not too sure if this Orianna is going to be able to answer. She is getting fought in the mid lane there. Tower dive coming from the Volibear. He does use his ulti to stop the tower doing damage, and he's so close. He does flash and get the kill on that, and Rift Arrow.
Nice.
Oh, I got a lovely lag spike coming up from right, but yeah, that Rift Arrow not really being able to even get a charge on that turret, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Oh,
And there's no TP on this Mordekaiser or this Orianna, so I think this top turret is just going to go down.
Yeah, this Orianna pick
Volibear should be able to take this.
not really being able to do anything. Galio does go in, does get the knock up, and the Q. Taunt does land and almost takes down the Orianna. Oh my word! She's left on 85-ish health, so
she
definitely turn
50,
around. Yeah.
54. But yeah, I was just gonna say, BilboSaggins really sort of laying. You know, we said it's a bit of a not a troll pick, but you know, it's quite something to pick the champion.
That the team
to play the champion that you just beat in the last game. He's showing us that, you know, this Volibear in the top lane can work.
Aphelios is definitely starting to do damage now. He should almost, he does have enough money to complete that Infinity Edge. So I think he is just waiting for the right time to go back on that.
Yeah, I think they're just going to push this wave in, and then he's going to go back. He doesn't want to miss that cannon creep. Lulu needs to be careful. All they want to do is push this in and reset. She's no reason for her to overextend here. Okay, they're going to reset. Yeah, so just quickly, it looks like, okay, and they're going to lane switch as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and this is the thing that I was saying, is I understand the Mordekaiser pick if you see the Ornn, but I'm not in favor of this blind Mordekaiser pick, because, you know, picking it so early and picking it blind means that the other team, okay, Volley wants to kill Orianna,
Yeah, he's going in here on the Yon and does just get the shutdown. Well, not the shutdown per se, does get the kill.
Yeah.
And
But, yeah,
dead.
Yeah, but what I was saying is, you know, when you blind pick this Mordekaiser, you really give the other team the opportunity to pick something that works into this Mordekaiser, and he's not that difficult to itemize against, especially in the top lane. It's a little bit more tricky in the mid lane. You know, you don't really want to be going for a Spectral Cow as a mid laner, as they want to kill this Volibear. But he has his ulti as well.
EQ combo does come out from the Jarvan. He does ulti onto
TP
this volley,
coming out
but
of
I'm not too
Galio.
sure if this is the right decision. TP coming out from the Galio. He does. Mordekaiser does take Volibear into the death realm. Flash coming out from the Galio on the top side, fighting that Jarvan. The EQ combo does not, or gets him away, but this Volibear is just destroying this Mordekaiser, and definitely a bad decision. Where's he gonna go? He doesn't get Blast Cone away from that.
He just like ate
Jumped him in the mid-air. Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, and this Volibear coming out big, man. But yeah, like I say, it all comes back to that second pick Mordekaiser for me.
Lulu here fighting the Jarvan. She's
Yeah,
just
she
going
doesn't
to
wanna
run
do
away.
that.
Oh, she does run
She
into the
needs to run.
Xayah, but she is super
Just
fast.
run.
I don't think Xayah is going to be able to get that lockdown, but
Aphelios is coming.
Aphelios does come back. Does the tornado does hit the turret up, and will we see a fight in this mid lane? I'm not too sure. Drake is coming up in about 2 seconds, so I think the focus is just going to be there in terms of Drake. Galio kind of protecting the jungle.
Ooh, Jarvan, you gotta go for this.
Oh, the damage. There is no flash on this Galio, so he's not too bad. No flash on the Jarvan as well, so definitely got to be careful. OTs, we do have the Orianna OT, Xayah OT, Aphelios, Galio, and Lulu OTs, Ekko OT as well. No Janna, Jarvan, and Vali. Oh, will he be able to get it? He does smite it away. Xayah doesn't get hit by the flamethrower from the Infernum gun, and I think this is going to be.
Move onto this Drake, and
Yeah.
I think it's free. I don't think they can contest.
I
you know, on the
agree.
red side.
Jarvan
Jarvan
is
is way too low.
trying
He will
to
just
come,
suicide if he goes
but
in there.
he's deciding to back off, and there is the Jake
he
secure.
needs to.
Galio, Karen. Galio is going in. Volibear decides to fight this Mordekaiser. Does do half health damage in the top lane, and I think this Xayah is going to go down. She does OT, flash away to get the bind. Great disengage, and the Janna does keep her alive with the shield. Awesome outplay. It does cost her a flash and an OT, but it does keep her alive.
Yo, man, they're gonna drop Rift Herald here. This turret's gonna go down. That Janna shield's gonna do nothing to keep that turret alive.
Jarvan's in the jungle, but he's not that healthy. He is
I wonder if
sticking
they're gonna
around,
get a
does use the
second
blast cone.
charge on this Herald.
We will have to
I think
keep
they're
track
gonna
of it.
try.
It
I
is
think they could push this
sticking
in
around.
if they stuck around. Yeah. No, they're sticking around. Yeah, they want to
Yeah, they're
get the
still here.
second charge. They should get it.
Ekko does get tornadoed and
Yeah,
doesn't get the
there's the
shield, but there's the second charge, like you said.
And the
Tower
turret's
is
gone down.
almost down, but does live to fight another day. Mordekaiser is having a tough time in the top lane though.
Yeah, and the problem is, you know, so red side have now fallen 8,000 gold behind, and there's going to be a forced team fight in at least 3.5 minutes, because you know that Drake is going to spawn, and that is going to be the Infernal Soul for blue side if the red side, you know, give that up. So I think the, you know, blue side Vindicators are going to be forced to take that team fight.
Volibear is running
Just
away. Does miss the death grasp from the Mordekaiser on that, and he
Yeah,
actually
and
returns to the scene of the crime.
And the thing is, you know, Vindicators on the red side can't really afford, in my opinion, to take a team fight at this stage. They really want to drag this out as long as possible, give their champions some time to farm, because everyone is quite far behind. I mean, that CS difference, or not just CS difference, but that gold difference in the top lane is quite astronomical now. It's you know, over 3,000 gold difference there. There's a 2,000 gold difference in the jungle. Only 500 in the mid lane, so Orianna is doing quite nicely. Almost a 2,000, well, let's call it 1,500 gold lead on the ADCs for the Aphelios, and a small little less than a 1,000 or 800 gold lead on that Lulu. So all in all, you know, all the lanes from blue side are just dominating their counterparts. on the red side, and you know that's the thing. Red side are just the weaker team right now because they have less gold, so they really need to wait. There's a fight in the bot lane.
Yeah, we do see the Ekko going onto the Orianna. Does use the ulti to draw him back. Does get the dash and oh, she does get away with the shield and destroys the Ekko actually with that burst damage coming out. Great play from the Orianna, using her ulti to keep him at a distance and flashing the last damage with a shield to keep her alive. Great play.
And the thing is, there was shutdown gold on him. So that's going to feel really good for the Orianna. The Orianna is definitely still feeling very relevant in this game. So
ooh, we do see Volibear actually going onto the Mordekaiser. Skies rip coming out from the Volibear, but the Mordekaiser does decide to just back off. I think that is what that item is called. Was foul.
A little bit forward, yeah.
Skies split up.
So the great thing for red side about killing the jungler is that it pretty much eliminates the possibility of them taking Drake as long as they
Jarvan does go in.
He needs to be careful, but he should walk
decides to back away, yeah. I'm not too sure why he went in for the engage there, but
I think if he died there, blue team turns onto the Drake, onto the Baron. So yeah, very very important that the Janna was able to help keep that Jarvan safe. There doesn't seem to be a lot of vision for red on the map right now. They have a little bit of they've placed a couple of wards, as I said, in their jungle, but yeah, there's not too much vision for red side, and they don't have vision of that Baron.
Ooh, Volibear pushing in the top lane. He does have that TP. There is a Drake coming up in 40 seconds, so I think this is sold if they are able to get it.
Yeah, and this is a problem because now red side's duo are top. Blue side know this. Obviously, they don't both have TP, so blue side can just rush to get vision control of this Drake. The Drake hasn't spawned just yet. The bot lane will get there in time, but they need to be careful. Jarvan might get caught.
Does use the EQ to get out. Janna is here in support. He does decide to turn around, but does get turned into a critter. Orianna does have the ball. Great ulti with the ulti. Flash away from the Aphelios, but the Lulu does ulti herself to keep that alive. Galio coming in. Mordekaiser does take the Lulu into the death realm. We do have the fight on the backside here. Great damage coming out from the Ekko, but he does die. Unfortunately, Aphelios does drop that Orianna, and Mordekaiser did manage to kill the Lulu while she was in death realm, which is expected. Gravitum comes down to get the root, and the turnaround of the volley onto the Jarvan, but the EQ does get him to safety.
There's just nothing they can do about these tanks.
This is definitely going to be Soul coming out for
this is going to feel really good.
Era.
That extra damage is just going to feel really, really good.
Yeah, and as they secure this, just want to say thank you to Frosty MFG for the follow. Appreciate it, and there is Soul, yeah, like we said. And now I think it's all going to be...
That recoil is pretty good. I don't know if you saw it.
Oh, I didn't see it.
It's like shooting lasers out of his mouth.
I'll have to check the next one.
So much better than that 1,000-eye pierced purple bear thing that we saw.
That's true.
God.
Did you see the Volibear? The Galio going back, and Lulu is securing vision around this Baron, which I do think is going to probably be started relatively soon. I think.
Yeah, I think it depends. I think if they get a pick, maybe they take the Baron, but I think they rather use Baron as bait for a team fight because there's no real need for them to try and force this on the blue side. I think they know. Oh my God!
Ekko is coming in, does get the damage. Oh, the third proc does come through, and the tornado doesn't keep her alive. Unfortunately, Mordekaiser tried to help, but
this is why I don't play support anymore because You do your team a favor by picking the something like the Janna or the Nami or something squishy. You pick it for the good of the team, but the team's not always there to keep you alive. And something like an Ekko is always just gonna absolutely melt you.
Ekko is coming in, does pick the fight. The death grasp does miss. Jarvan does go on to the Galio with the Orianna ulti, does do some damage, but it pulls him a little back. Jarvan is doing the Cataclysm onto the Galio, and that is the dead Galio. Shutdown coming from the Jarvan.
He turns around and says, thanks for 450 gold, but as they see that there are no junglers in the bot lane, he obviously doesn't have TP. The blue side are going to turn into the Baron.
Baron is coming down. I'm pretty sure this is going to be a Baron. The red team, no red team member in sight, and that is a Baron. You are correct then.
Very good shot calling, and you know, I don't know who calls the shots on blue side, but whoever that was, very good call. You know, the moment you see the jungler show himself on the bot side of the map, you know he doesn't have TP. There's no way he's gonna get there in time. You have the Aphelios, you take that Baron down so freaking quickly, and they punish them. So yeah, you know, red side got the 450 gold shutdown, but blue side turn around and say thanks for free Baron, and yeah, this is looking more and more like blue side's, or this is definitely blue side's game to lose right now.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to Frosty MFG for the raid there with those 6 members, and Dureshi calling that Baron play before it got started. So yeah, definitely predicting that. And like you said, as you saw, that we do have an engage actually coming from the top lane. Volley just uses his ulti to jump away, does get knocked up by the tornado, and he does turn around with the shield.
He still has 2,000 health.
Ekko's coming in this mid lane onto the Xayah, does get the blast gun over the wall. Xayah, great Xayah ulti damage, but will he be able to get it? He does get it, and ulti's all the way back to safety, full health, and basically like nothing happened. And we do see Volley pushing in the top, Galio in the bot lane, and we do have a 3-man.
Out of the Ekko, I don't know if you caught that.
I did not.
The cheeky fizz.
Galio pushing in this bot lane, does get the tower. We do have a 2v2. Janna trying to protect the mid lane against the Aphelios, but the Ekko damage is just insane at the moment. Jarvan does use his Cataclysm, but I think he might die. Actually, Janna does save him, but he is still going to drop. And
this is GG.
Ekko is on this.
Oh no! Oh, Lulu.
Oh!
Freaking champion.
Saves him. Galio ulti does come through. The Orianna ulti does miss, unfortunately. But
Ekko takes a ball to the face.
damage coming out. I think this is going to be GG. It looks like the push is coming down. Volibear, it's so many creeps coming out, and I think that is the end of the game. So yeah, definitely great game. We do have Era bringing in the second game for the victory in that, and yeah, once again lots of action, great back and forth in the beginning, but definitely showing their team play towards the end with the Galio OTs and that Ekko just wrecking havoc in the jungle.
Oh my God, yeah, that Ekko. And again, you know, I said it at one stage. I think the Kayn ban for the jungle. Look, it probably had probably had their reasons to ban it, but you know, after they saw what Ekko did in that first game, I'm very surprised that they stuck with that Kayn ban rather than going for the Ekko ban, and they got punished. It's just that simple. They got punished. There was no DC this game. This was just they were just outplayed. Very well played from Era last time in both games. To be fair, they played their comp very nicely. It was basically the same comp in both games. The only difference was, you know, Ornn in the top lane in game 1, Volley in game 2. BilboSaggins having a really good series as well. I think, you know, he showed that this Volibear in the top lane is definitely a force to be reckoned with. Like I say, I also think that Red side made it really hard for their top laner by locking in that Mordekaiser so early.
Yeah.
But yeah, just all around, like, look at those power picks that are on the blue side. You know, the Lulu, the Aphelios, and the Volley, the Ekko that the other team should have known that they were very proficient on, and the Galio that did so well in the game 1. I mean, yeah, it looked like, you know, at the end of the draft that it was their game to lose, and it was, and they just dominated. They didn't lose a single Drake. They got the Baron. Yeah, just all around very good play.
Yeah, I think definitely, although this Galio doesn't look like he performed too well with a 217 end score, but those, just the ultis coming out and the Orianna not really being able to follow with that Ekko kind of being such a threat in the jungle, definitely made things a little more tricky. And with his tankiness, the Orianna couldn't really do anything against him?
Ooh,
her?
Ooh, there we go.
Is it a him?
Right, you think Galio is female?
I'm not sure.
I mean,
it's possible. But yeah,
what cruel parents named their daughter Galio.
The Orianna just couldn't do any damage, and I mean that taunt.
Look,
we did see.
I agree, and I did say as well that, you know, Galio is a really nice pick into an AP champion as well because of that shield that he gets. But I think Orianna had quite a nice game. Scout, I think he had a decent series. He did end 3-3-4. We saw him with a couple of kills. He had the outplay on the Ekko as well. But yeah, I mean, I think the problem was something like, the Volibear just got such a big lead. No one was going to be able to take down that Volibear. Nobody could get onto the Aphelios on the back line. Even if they tried to, the Lulu with the Ardent Sensor was, going to make it really difficult for you to ever take that champion down. Just again, it sounds like such a silly thing to emphasize, but just great drafting. I think, if you draft yourself for success, you really give yourself the advantage. And I really think Era last time had some really good drafts, both these games. So really well played, but also really nice. You can see that they really put some thought into this game. So well done, guys. Really, really good performance.
Yeah, definitely great games coming out from both teams. Still great games. Love bringing you guys all the actions. I just want to say thank you to Nikaru and Ray VDN for the follow, and thank you Dureshi for the subscribe. Really appreciate it. We do not have a game tomorrow night, if I'm not mistaken, as well as...
But talking about tomorrow night, Man United versus Tottenham. So, I mean...
No one cares about that. It is Man United after all, so definitely not going to be excited for that game. But yeah, unfortunately, we don't have a game tomorrow night, if I'm not mistaken. We do possibly have one on Saturday, but definitely one on Sunday. I think there's about 5 or so, or I think actually more happening on Sunday. So yeah, follow my channel to get notifications of when those games are. We will be bringing you as much action as we can. And there is a schedule. I just need to update it as the games are. Well, not necessarily, but I just need to update it as the games are being scheduled. And we will bring you guys as much action as we can. Let me just check for you guys with regards to that game on Sunday, just to bring you, or so you guys know who you're looking forward to. Give me a little bit.
He's
not
a little
too
bit slower
sure
than guys.
If it's 21st. So for everyone who is tuned in at the moment, we do have quite a few games coming out on the 21st, and that is Sunday. And most of it will probably be happening in around 7 or 8 o'clock at night. But we do have ATK Goon Squad coming against Era Lost Time. We have Royalty Esports.
That's obviously Premier League.
Versus, yeah, so this is all Premier League.
That's this team.
Era Millennium. And GG Black versus OG Vindicatus, which we did see their performance right now. So that is all Premier League. In terms of the first division, we have...
Could you put it on your screen so that we can see it?
I can, but I'm scrolling through, so I mean... If everybody wants to see, you can.
You just drop.
There we go. Yeah, for everybody who's looking. We have level 1 oldies versus Zags Marshmallow. This is Pool A. And that does look like it for Pool A. Oh no, we have ATG Zero versus O Shadow Synergy. And Pool B, we have... What do we have? We have Mad Synergy versus Ego Team Veracity, as well as Mad Instincts versus Total Iron Trash. So yeah, definitely quite a few games coming out on the Sunday. Looking forward to all the action. Unfortunately, we will only be able to bring you one team
at a time.
At a time. Well, yeah, at a time.
I mean, yeah,
I
if
do
there's
know.
Another game that's later, we'll try to bring that.
Yeah, hold my donut if you want to follow her. She is also going to be bringing you action from another team, and Sheepy is, I think, bringing you a Prem action game. So definitely look into those ones, see if you want to watch those. If not, definitely join us. Really appreciate it, and thank you once again for Chicken Boy for joining our stream and co-casting this game. And
I'm just here to make LoL great again.
Yeah. I'm not too sure if that's possible with League of Legends now. But really appreciate everybody coming out, supporting. Don't forget to hit that follow button, and have a good night. We will see you either Saturday or Sunday. Stay tuned. Goodbye.
Bye.